Name is Ana. I'm walking back to my house in Colonia Americana with my son Oliver. Avenida Union is busy as usual. But as I turn the corner onto Calle Zuno, the long entry starts to envelop us, pulling us in and leading us to the door. The rough stone exterior is cool in the porch shade. The light this time of day is magical. It dances on the sidewalk near the entry, and the sound of wind through these trees, it feels as if the house is saying hello. Beyond the door, there is a stairway leading down. Each stair is double length, and we must take our time descending. Oliver and I move through the threshold and hear the sound of water, always present at this place. We navigate these stone stairs down to our sanctuary underground, and the sounds of the street are overcome by sounds of water. Oliver loves the water. Yesterday, he played with his paper boats that he and my wife made. Oliver and I put our hands through the waterfall. It is a ritual we've practiced since moving into this house last year. Oliver likes ritual, and it helps me too, to decompress momentarily. I often wish the world outside understood the complexity of autism. Oliver is amazing, and I am so grateful for everything he teaches me. The house surrounds us in the sunken courtyard, and it is always a joy to come home to our place of refuge. The jacaranda trees is losing its blossoms, and the ground is littered with purple. The hummingbirds have discovered the garden this spring. My wife's vegetable garden is thriving, and I love the smell of the herbs we planted last month. My wife and Oliver spend hours planting and tending the raised vegetable beds. I see that the cherry tomatoes are ripe. I'd like to use them for tonight's dinner. I love to cook. It became a passion when I was at university studying mechanical engineering. It is my creative outlet. I'm so glad my wife insisted on having this vegetable garden. Oliver has become braver and more curious in trying new foods ever since he's been helping in the garden. Oliver runs behind the lavender bush to one of his favorite places in the courtyard, the small trampoline. The trampoline and the hammock are two places he especially loves out here. He can jump or swing for hours, and it calms him, especially after an overstimulating day at school or the market. For a moment, I sit on one of my wife's functional objects, as she calls them. There are a few of them in the landscape, and I think they are beautiful sculptures as well as comfortable places to recline. My wife, Denise, calls out from her sculpture studio adjacent and above the courtyard. She splits her time working on smaller projects here and at an artist co-op nearby the larger pieces. She is outgoing and passionate about her work. She sometimes entertains curators and friends in the studio. There is a separate entry from the street, so our family space always feels separate, special, and a safe place for Oliver. Denise is good friends with a few street artists in Guadalajara. We left the existing art on the neighboring walls when we began building the house. We wanted a connection to the neighborhood culture. Denise and I have been married for 10 years, and we had Oliver 8 years ago. Our life changed dramatically after Oliver, but his autism diagnosis made our family much closer and us more patient and kinder with each other. The light in the dining room gradually comes up as the sun sets. The lighting is programmed throughout the house to help Oliver anticipate daily activities. We programmed it based on the circadian rhythm. Right now, he knows it's time for me to prepare dinner. I show him a picture from my tablet of the pasta I will make with the cherry tomatoes. He says he will try 2 bites. He may only want plain pasta after that, but 2 bites is an achievement for him. He is proud that he grew the tomatoes himself. Denise comes from her studio with chunks of clay, and she and Oliver make worms and spirals and shapes out of the clay on the outside table. This is a ritual they started a few months ago. Denise's studio can be overwhelming for Oliver, so they like to play together on this table outside with the late afternoon filling the courtyard with a diffused light. Everything is still except for the sound and movement of water. The air near them smells of clay. After dinner, the light begins to dim in our dining room. Oliver knows it is almost time for his bedtime routine. He comes into the living room but wants to be alone. He retreats into the niche. It is a room within a room, and it is a favorite place for Oliver, quiet and soft. Denise and another artist friend fabricated the cocoon pod, as she calls it. Denise built several of them so that each space in the house has an opportunity for Oliver to be alone, but still together with us. The cocoon pod is soft inside and completely articulates so that Oliver can lay or sit or curl up. It also bounces, which he loves to do. If he needs more privacy, the pod has a retractable shade that Oliver can pull down, and there is an adjustable light inside to read. Recently, my wife installed speakers into one of the pods so that Oliver can listen to the ocean, sounds, or music. This house serves our family well. From its inception, we have integrated passive and active solar technology and a gray water system for the garden. We built this house to last us our whole lives and beyond. It is a house that looks inward, cradling us. We were able to be in the city with all of its conveniences and opportunities in Oliver's school. But this house is also a place of refuge, and it forces us to slow our pace, to engage in ritual, and to be more present for and with each other.